This chart changes everything. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about how a plethora of longer-term technical indicators have indicated that we are very, very close to a massive breakout. From Lux Algo, to the weekly chart MACD, to the S&P, to the emotions of you and me, Bitcoin you see has begun to flee from the grips of the bears. So in today's video, we're going to talk about why a massive rally may be ensuing much quicker than you might think. So without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. See, on the weekly chart, some huge signals have flashed for Bitcoin ever since this rally following the BlackRock decision to propose a Bitcoin ETF last week, causing Bitcoin to rally to $30,000. Following that rally, we've seen the buy signal on Lux Algo continue to be vindicated as the trend catcher has curved up and Bitcoin has approached and touched the middle point of the take profit zone. I would normally say that that may be indicative that we're about to see a drop, but if you consider the fact that Bitcoin has actually already created a higher high above the previous high at exactly 31,000 with a new high at 31,400, it actually seems to be that we're about to see another major rally on Bitcoin, causing that take profit on the weekly chart to jump higher, and this time it may jump to well over $38,000. Furthermore, out on the weekly chart, we've seen MACD cross bullish in a way that we have only seen happen above the zero level a couple of times in the last several years. Once here and once here. In fact, this has only happened 2 times in the last 5 years, and both times Bitcoin went into a major rally. The first time rallying over 500%, the second time rallying well over 50, and actually over 100. Furthermore, on the weekly chart, we've seen RSI cross above its 14 interval moving average, which is a hugely bullish sign, something that has not happened in a very long time on Bitcoin. You have to go back to 2021 right here to see that cross, and Bitcoin would double in price following it. Furthermore, looking at the SPY, you can see that the market rallied all the way up to 445 points in one of the largest rallies we've seen in a very long time. Bitcoin is positively correlated with the stock market, so this is very good news. The caveat, though, is that on the short term, Lux Algo has given us a sell signal, so we're going to see if the SPY can hold this critical support at 430. If it can, then it will likely continue to be a bullish factor for Bitcoin. If not, it may be a reason why Bitcoin goes through a slightly larger correction before its next movement to the upside. Now, for that point I made about you and me, you see, the market sentiment in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency has changed dramatically ever since June 5th when the SEC launched their attack against Coinbase, Binance, CZ, and about 60 different altcoins. Many people have moved away from the altcoins and into Bitcoin. To prove that, you can see how Bitcoin's market dominance has moved from 45.84% on June 5th to where it sits right now at 50.25%. Bitcoin's market dominance has gone up by nearly 4% in the span of less than a month, indicating a huge exodus from the altcoins into Bitcoin. At the same time, with BlackRock moving into the Bitcoin market by filing for a Bitcoin ETF, there has been bullishness added to Bitcoin, bearishness added to the altcoins. So the battle for market dominance between Bitcoin and the altcoins has now become very one-sided. And the thing to keep in mind is that at the beginning of bull markets, especially the last bull market, Bitcoin's dominance normally goes on a major run. And when Bitcoin's market dominance does go on a run, that normally is the catalytic event that kicks off a bull market. So now the question is, can Bitcoin's new higher high that it set become an even higher high than what it set just about a week ago on Friday? I think the answer to that is yes. I think most definitely Bitcoin has what it takes to break through current resistance at $30,000 and push up towards $32,935, which would be our next major level of resistance. I do want to encourage you, though, if you do try and trade that movement with a long, I want you to do one of 2 things. Number 1, follow the principle of trading that we talk about all the time here on Climate of Crypto and also over on Coffee and Crypto, which is this. If you have a little bit of profit, have a very small stop loss, a very tight stop loss. If you have a lot of profit, then you can widen that stop loss. An example, if you long at $30,000 and Bitcoin is then sitting at $30,100, do your very best to have a tighter stop loss than the profit that you're in. So for example, you enter at 30,000 on your long, it's at 30,100, have your stop loss at 30,050 so that if you drop and you get stopped out of the trade, you will not lose money. Set up a riskless trade, if you will, where you're only risking the profit and the potential, not your principal. Risk potential, not principal, if at all possible. If you enter at $30,000 and Bitcoin's at $35,000, then sure, maybe you have $1,000, $2,000 worth of stop loss to play with, but adjust your stop loss accordingly based on how much profit you're in. That's the first thing to keep in mind. With that said, if you're going to enter a long on this potential breakout above $30,000, above $31,000 for Bitcoin, excuse me, then make sure that you are using that tight stop loss in the early days, because Bitcoin could just be putting a topping candle before going through a month of correction before we try and break up above this level again. Secondly, the second thing you can do is this. If you are going to enter a long trade here on Bitcoin, you can also say, I'm not going to worry too much about a stop loss right now, because if the market goes down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on to Bitcoin, and I'm just going to roll it over into my investment portfolio if it drops too low, and then I'm going to leave that Bitcoin there for a multitude of years. In 5 years, you'll almost certainly be in profit on a $30,000 trade. So sometimes, if you choose not to sell at a loss, what you can do instead, and this is for the people that didn't follow my advice on having very tight stop losses, you can roll that trade that might be 10% at a loss, maybe it drop down to 27.5. You can roll that over into your investment portfolio and just worry about it later, because eventually it'll be in profit more than likely, so long as you're not on leverage. You can't do that if you're on leverage, but if you're doing 1x trading, if you will, then you can roll it over like that. I do believe that there is a lot of bullishness in the future for Bitcoin, but I do think the altcoins are in trouble. If you're a long-term investor and you want to speculate that some of these altcoins will do very well, I think that many of them will. But the next year to 2 years may be very, very difficult and may have some very hard trials for all of the altcoins, even Ethereum. And so if you're going to invest in altcoins right now, you need to take a very long-term perspective. Is this coin going to be here in 5-10 years? That's a question that you have to answer before you start getting into them heavily, because they're going to come under excruciating fire from the Securities and Exchange Commission, as they have already proven. As for Bitcoin, though, I believe its future is very bright. I think the next year is going to be very bullish, even if Bitcoin needs 4 to 8 weeks of correction following this major rally that we saw over the last week and a half. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and sign up for Lux Algo using coupon code JEB30, J-E-B-B, 30 for 30% off at checkout, and you'll be so glad you did, because if you sign up with the monthly plan, you'll be saving $20.40 every single month. If you sign up for the annual plan, the 40% you'll save from using the annual plan and the 30% you'll save from using our coupon code will save you 70% on Lux Algo and bring the price averaged out monthly down from $68 a month, $67.99, down to $27.99. So make sure to use those coupon codes and get access to Lux Algo today. You will not be sorry you did. All right, guys, it's going to wrap it out for today. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.